Happy Friday, Bears!
Coming up, we look at Gender X, Cody Darling's van, and winter crew.
Major storms that started in California on Wednesday are expected to hit Ohio this weekend. Al Roker from NBC's Today Show said that this is going to be a very potent storm.
And as of this pre-record Thursday, the weather models were still working out the details, but Columbus could receive heavy snowfall, gusty winds, and rain.
Temperatures will nosedive into the negatives for our Martin Luther King holiday weekend, with a low of -6 degrees on Saturday. But the thermometer is unfortunately expected to warm up a bit for a return to school on Tuesday.
It's best to stay off the roads during these winter weather events. Macy talked with Officer Rice to find out what we can do to stay safe when we're faced with winter weather driving.
Because of this winter weather, you want to make sure that you're taking extra precautions when it comes to these slippery conditions. A big problem that is seen, according to Officer Rice, is that drivers aren't waiting for their windows to thaw. Officer Rice shares his opinions.
Just watch your speed. Slow your speed down. For conditions, a lot of people think, great, I got a four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, and that has no benefit on ice. So you'll slide right through the intersection just like everybody else will. You can just hit that AAA app, and it'll map your location and send help immediately.
Stay safe on the roads, Bears. This has been Macy Phelan reporting for WARL.
The conditions are expected to get worse. Remember to take it nice and snow out there.
The Nation's report card ranked Ohio 24th in how well it prepares students for college, giving it an overall B-.
The national average was a C+, and Ohio moved up 3 spots from 27th last year.
However, at Upper Arlington High School, students never fail to serve, lead, and succeed, as 241 juniors and seniors have qualified for the National Honor Society. If you have a cumulative GPA of 3.75, pick up your personal application in the attendance office.
UA boys in the Upper Arlington Youth Football League raised $14,000 for Nationwide Children's Hospital with a focus on pediatric cancer.
A 2016 statewide study conducted by the journal Pediatrics estimates that nearly 3% of teens are non-gender conforming, which would be 1.2 million teens in the U.S.
Ohio is one of the last 3 states that won't allow people who identify as transgender to legally change their gender.
The rest of the nation is further ahead, with many states allowing a gender change even without a court order or doctor's endorsement. We interviewed some students to see what their opinions are on new progressive gender identity laws.
New York City enacted a law in January that allows parents to assign children gender X instead of male or female. I spoke with some students to see what their opinion on the matter is.
Kids, when they're little, they don't really have very much understanding of the world, and if their parents chose gender X, I feel like they wouldn't be able to identify with themselves, and I feel like that would be very confusing for them at a growing age.
I think that it's a cool option if your kid is born intersex or something. And maybe you can make it easier to have that changed if the kid is decides that they're not what they're born as when they're older.
I think that it's an interesting idea. I don't think that it's right or necessarily wrong, because each individual family has their own individual needs, and if that's what works best for you, then I guess that's a good option.
Student opinions tended to be a lot more subdued than the opinions that were seen online, where people either completely rejected the idea or kept referencing religious texts in order to defend their position. This has been Lujaina Asaf reporting for the WARL.
New York City now joins California, Oregon, Washington State, and New Jersey on their gender-neutral policy.
A district court judge also ruled that passports cannot be for gender-neutral applicants, meaning that this might cause laws that force the federal government to acknowledge a gender-neutral identity.
If this does reach federal documentation, the U.S. would join 10 other countries that already federally recognize the third gender.
Today's the 27th day of the government shutdown. TSA absent rates have reached 7%, and all major airports have been operating at a much slower speed than usual.
Be aware that the FDA is no longer regulating food because of the government shutdown.
If you know any government workers who are affected by the shutdown, advise them to contact their cell phone, Wi-Fi, or cable carrier. Many corporations are allowing government workers to extend any bills they have due until the shutdown ends.
Now to Caroline and Griffin with sports.
Welcome to sports.
The OHSAA has issued an executive order for parents to cool it, as their aggressive behavior has caused a short age of referees.
Boys and girls varsity swimming has a meet tonight against Dublin Jerome at 5:30 in the natatorium.
Girls varsity basketball plays Central Crossing at 7:30 at home tonight, while the boys team travels to Central Crossing for their game, which is also at 7:30 tonight.
Tomorrow is the senior meet for our Water Bears.
Senior night happens early at 1:30 p.m. on Saturday for boys and girls swim teams.
They will compete against Olentangy. This meet will take place in the UA Natatorium.
The gymnastics team is halfway through their season and going strong, Caroline reports.
The varsity girls gymnastics team had their second home meet on Tuesday. Junior Addie Pittenger shares some information.
All three Dublin teams were there, as well as Grove City and just an individual from another school. We did really well overall, considering what happened at our last meet. We stepped up on beam and stepped up on bars, and we finished on floor really strong. Our season so far has been going pretty well. We still need to get some upgrade skills for more difficulty and such, but hopefully we'll have all those skills ready for OCCs and districts, and we're going to dominate. So.
This has been Caroline Perwitz for WARL.
The girls continue to prepare for OCCs on February 9th to maintain their throne as champions. Their next meet is on the 23rd.
As winter weather is making its way to Upper Arlington, the crew team has moved their training indoors.
The boys and girls both practice 6 times a week for more than 2 hours a day, Aurora reports.
Although the team is not provided their own training area and proper airflow, they still manage to compete at the highest level. On Friday, January 4th, junior Peter Yohani broke his first world record in the 15-16 age category for the fastest 60-minute piece on slides.
So training's been going really well. We have a bunch of really fast guys. We're looking forward to our Midwest Erg sprints in a couple months and carrying that speed on that we'll hopefully have there into our spring season and going to nationals.
So the girls' side has also been doing pretty well throughout the seasons, and coming into the winter season, we have a lot of really fast girls, and we've really been focusing on like steady state training to help with times and everything. Although the space is pretty cramped in here, we do manage to get everyone all together for a practice. Sometimes we'll do workouts at the stadium, and we also lift twice a week in the mornings.
This has been Aurora for the WARL.
Player of the week goes to junior Peter Yohani for his world record.
The boys and girls compete at the Midwest Erg Championships on February 23rd at the OSU RPAC building. If you would like to attend and cheer on your peers, admission is free.
You can also follow the team on Twitter at @RowBears to stay updated throughout the event.
Now to special reports with CJ and Macy.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to my van. This is Gus. He's a 2010 Econoline van. I'll show you around inside. So here we have 2 benches that fold out into a giant bed. We have the back seat cushions on here. We got this old cabinet. And then we got these fairy lights that we hung up with super glue on the sides. We have these nice speakers back here jamming to some camp. Sitting in the parking lot. Up there we have a Polaroid board for all of our friends and family that come and visit the van. My favorite parts of the van was that I get to combine like all my passions for like skiing, fly fishing, traveling all in one, and I get to take it with this vehicle. I plan to take this vehicle to Colorado, where I'll be going to school next year, hopefully out west, Montana, Wyoming, California, hopefully visit all those places, and wherever else I want to go, I guess. Just figure that out.
Shalom. The popular movie and TV streaming service Netflix has announced that they are raising their prices from $11 to $13 per month.
This is the 4th time that Netflix has raised their prices from the original $8 per month.
As many of you have seen, the movie Bird Box on Netflix has sparked a unique challenge among its viewers.
The challenge includes doing various activities while being blindfolded.
YouTube has officially banned channels from sharing these dangerous challenges. They have warned creators that they have 2 months to clean up their channel or their channel will be reprimanded.
A teenage girl in Utah also participated in the challenge and got into a car accident. Layton Police Department reported that no one was injured. Rolling in at 65%, exercise was the second most popular New Year's resolution in 2019, but according to a 2017 study, most resolutions fail by February. Lily explored local workout studios on how their members stay motivated.
The popular New Year's resolution of being healthy can be tough to last more than just a few days, especially with a lack of motivation. There are many local workout studios around UA that can help you stay on track of your goals and keep that New Year's resolution all year. Cycle 614 is the perfect studio to get an intense cycling workout that uses high energy music and competition to keep your heart rate up the entire class. Philip Pelock discusses his motivation.
My motivation to ride is to stay healthy and get a good workout in at the beginning of the morning.
Your first class is free, and every class after that is $18. For a more zen experience, Go Yoga on the Mallway will provide you with a less intensive way to stay toned and loose. Classes range between $13 and $15 and will help you stay on track of your goals. This has been Lily Simonis for WARL.
For those of you that are 18 days into your New Year's resolution, stay strong.
It's supposed to get easier after 3 weeks and to solidify the habits and resolutions. So you're almost there, Bears.
Now, back to Maine.
Juniors, there will be a meeting next Tuesday at 3:15 regarding parking for next year.
Friday, January 11th was the last day to submit an online survey detailing what should be put in a new time capsule celebrating Upper Arlington's centennial year.
Their survey also offers some suggestions of things to include, like a high school yearbook, smartphone, local restaurant menus, and possibly a tweet from President Donald Trump.
The items chosen will be announced January 28th at our State of the City address at 6:30 with a community fair at 5. The time capsule will be on display in a clear lock case in the municipal building.
We're heading into a snowy 3-day weekend, Bears.
Stay warm and be safe on the roads. See you next week.